Hi y'all, today is day 44 or actually episode 44, and today's quote is: make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back. Regret is appalling waste of energy. Regrets are, you know, regrets are literally, mistakes that, you keep on looking back at. Like regrets are what you allow yourself to keep looking back at your mistakes for, considering them regrets instead of considering them, mistakes and moving on. Regrets are more, I believe, a stronger definition for a mistake, something that you allow yourself to look back at, allow yourself to feel more connected with that mistake. And it shouldn't ever be like that with your mistakes. When it comes down to, living life, you're bound to make a mistake. But once you consider them a regret, or actually feel like they're a regret, you allow this feeling inside you to be affected by what happened during that period of time or whatever you did. So when you think about a mistake, usually when you make a mistake, you learn not to do it again. It's a repeating cycle. You live, you learn, you live, you learn. And now with a regret, you make a singular mistake or a mistake and consider it large enough to be, life change, or you've changed the aspect of the way your future is going to go because of this one mistake. And realistically, when it comes down to mistakes, you should never do that. You should literally never do that, because mistakes are mistakes, y'all. You're bound to make a mistake. And I'm sorry, but I personally love the fact that I live with no regrets. I've made mistakes, a lot of them. Oh my god, a lot of them. And unfortunately, it's maybe even too many. But I would never consider them regrets, because God has a plan, and I hope I will be better in the sense that everything I do for, as of today, as the rest of my life, as of whenever I push out content, whenever I step outside, every time I even breathe, I'm trying to do it for the purpose of God, because I really think that I think I'm done of making dumb mistakes, and I'm at that fact where it's regrets regrets specifically are just something that I don't want to have, because regrets will, they will be on your shoulders for the rest of your life. And when you have regrets, it's not the fact that they're so easy to let go of. I swear there's a different type of attachment with these mistakes when you have a regret. It's like you think that something different could have happened that night and nothing bad would have happened, or you try to plan out all these scenarios like what if, but it already happened. You gotta accept and move on. That's the whole part of a mistake. You can't keep living on the edge of a seat, or in your mind, sleepless nights, stuff like that, just because of one mistake. And I've learned to be able to accept them, but there are things that of course I wish I could change. It's part of life, like I said. But I don't want y'all to forget that even your mistakes make you. If you didn't make those mistakes, you probably wouldn't understand things the way you do right now. Meaning, let's say, an example, you took a wrong investing, or actually, let's go even a little deeper. You cheating on your girlfriend, and you actually really hate the fact that you did that. And then now you obviously you have to live with the fact that you did do it, but not regretting it will help you move on, and then maybe even find a new love. I always hear that there's gonna be someone else out there for you. There's gonna be someone else out there for you. It seems impossible, but you know, so God, like I said, God will have a plan for y'all. And either way, remember that, regrets are just making mistakes, like making mistakes look bigger than they are. So today's quote, once again, for episode 44 is going to be, make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back. Regret is an appalling waste of energy. And have a blessed day.